Hello today, welcome. And I'm so happy that you've tuned in because we are here with an update from Los Angeles Times. And this is an interview that was conducted with Liz Garbus and Chanel Peisnick, I hope I'm saying that correctly, who are the two executive producers and creative partners for the Netflix show Harry and Meghan. So they've had this quite interesting interview, and I'll give you some of the highlights. So they said that they had this interview in a joint Zoom chat about getting to know the Duke and Duchess, documenting the pair's loving journey and matters of trust. So she was asked a question. Liz, what sealed the deal for you to jump onto this project? To which she replied, if I'm approaching a documentary, I want to know if the folks I'm working with want to share, that they're game. I had already gotten to know Meghan, but I wanted to have a sense of Harry's point of view. I got on a Zoom with both of them, and just hearing the stories he had to tell, his desire for openness, his desire to get the story of the last several years of their lives out without the mediation of people with agendas and the British tabloids' agenda of clickbait. I felt like, quote, wow, here's a story that obviously the whole world is fascinated by, end quote, and that it can really operate on deep historical and cultural levels too. So Garbus was asked, what was your approach to shooting the show given the inherent limitations and sensitivities? Garbus replied, quote, when you're making a film about people, they always have agency because they can share what they want to share and keep what they want to keep. I don't know what Harry and Meghan didn't share, but that's their right. Like any project, you're building trust with your subjects. I wasn't interested in a reality show. I wasn't interested in being there in the morning and when they woke up to have coffee. I was interested in talking to them and having them be as open and transparent as possible and making those connections to the larger thematic framework. Peisnick said, quote, one thing that was really unique to this project was how careful we had to be with the personal archive. Some of the things Harry and Meghan were sharing with us were very much never before seen. We had to protect the archive in order to continue to build trust and honor the project. So there were a lot of security protocols put in place. I think went above and beyond what another project would probably do, end quote. They were also asked, was there any attempt to get input from the British press to hear their side of things? So Garbus replied, quote, we were trying to keep this project very low profile and under wraps until Netflix chose to announce it to the world, which was really close to when we aired. So the idea of going to the tabloids in the UK was kind of a non-starter. So they were also asked, what surprised you about Harry and Meghan as people? To which they replied, quote, for me, Peisnick said, it was very much their relationship together. She went on to say, quote, and how they looked at each other and interact. As we were crafting the arc of the series, the love story element as the through line just felt authentic and right, considering how beautiful it is to watch them together when they're just at home or on Zoom or sitting on a couch. Garbus said, quote, I had kind of already built a basic relationship with Meghan over the prior year. I wasn't a royal watcher. I didn't have those preconceived notions, though I guess I had like the vision of a stiff upper lip kind of family member. As everyone knows from our doc, Harry is very chatty, very communicative, emotionally intelligent, doing a lot of work on himself in terms of dealing with his past and dealing with being a man married to a woman of color in America. That definitely surprised me, end quote. And I'll interject here and talk about how she's speaking about Prince Harry being open and the fact that he wants to get his side of the story out. You know, I think it's good for them to talk about how Harry has been front and center in him wanting to draw back the curtains and show people about the experiences that he's had and what was the lead up in their decision making to step back. And now seeing them thriving in their lives, it's just so amazing, and pursuing their passions in this new freedom. I think it is so good as well. And we would like to see Harry and Meghan succeeding more and more. And yes, as a quick, by the way, we did have that update on Prince Harry, and he will be heading to Asia. So after this video, I welcome you to click the link at the card and at the end screen as well if you want to know more on that story, and thank you in advance. So that was a quick plug. Now on to the next question. So they were asked, has the series helped Harry and Meghan standing with the British naysayers or media? Garbus said, one of the things that I explored in the show was that in many ways this was Harry's journey. That Harry had this very fundamental primal trauma as a child and felt that the royal family did not protect his mother. And as a child who loses a mother, there are things that aren't forgivable. Meghan was on this journey with Harry as opposed to her pulling Harry out of something that he would have stayed in if it were not for her. Meghan really has become the face of blame for, quote, destroying something that the British public felt was so important to them, and then throwing in every misogynistic and racist trope into that, as has historically been the way women have been positioned in these kinds of narratives, end quote. Peisnick said, quote, I also think that just beyond the naysayers whose minds were changed, the way that Liz and the team so beautifully wove together this story in general, with suspense and a ticking clock and socio-cultural context, really engaged the audience that normally wouldn't even care to have an opinion on this type of subject. End quote. So there we have it. Share your thoughts on this in the comment section below. As we know, the documentary was one of the best performing documentaries, I think, on Netflix. And I think that they might even be up for some awards this year. Let's see what happens. But there we have it from the executive producers and creative partners of the show, talking about how Harry and Meghan have a wonderful love story, and how even in the behind the scenes, it is so evident that Harry and Meghan truly do love each other. And I think this calls back to that comment by Tyler Perry where he said that what Harry and Meghan have is so real, and it's true. And I also appreciate the fact that they've talked about how Meghan has taken the lion's share of what they have dubbed in certain segments, quote, Megxit, and how they have blamed her for, quote, manipulating Harry. And in fact, it's Harry who just did not want to see his wife being fed the tabloids and used as a distraction. And, he said enough is enough. He took his family out of that situation. He had been scapegoated before. And I don't think he wanted to see that happening to Meghan and, of course, his kids. So it's good to see the producers talking about the Sussexes and their dynamic on screen and behind the screen. And I think that even the worst detractors of Harry and Meghan have admitted that their love story is quite compelling and is so engrossing and real to watch. And yes, I've heard people all over, even those who criticize the documentary, commending the angle of the love story highlighted in the documentary. It truly was a tale of two people who got together and just chose to safeguard each other's emotional state and mental well-being above all. So he put his family before all of that duty, and we can commend and tip our hats to Prince Harry for that, and Meghan as well, standing by her man. And I'm excited to see what happens. So let me know your thoughts. Would you like to see Netflix pursuing some kind of documentary with Harry and Meghan now as they're looking to expand content moving forward? In my opinion, it doesn't have to be the cameras following them around at home again. It can branch out into other interests of their lives, talking about perhaps Prince Harry having some type of documentary on conservation in Africa. I think a lot of people would be so interested in that. And that's something I think that he could be incredibly comfortable doing, not only on screen, but being behind the screen and taking more of a creative approach to it. I think that would be fantastic. So share your thoughts on this interview. And also, what would you like to see Prince Harry and Meghan putting out next in terms of content on Netflix? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. As always, before we log off, a special thank you to those who support this channel financially. To my Patreon, PayPal, and membership supporters, I would like to give a heartfelt thank you. And I want to shout out a couple of you here by name. And I want to say thank you to you, Noreen Bengali. I want to say that I appreciate the support and love that you've shown to me and my work here over the years. Thank you so much. You are so dear and sweet. Thank you. Thank you as well to Joyce as well, who is always showing such incredible generosity towards my work here on YouTube. I pray for God to bless you. Thank you so very much. And thank you to Aminata Ja as well, who has been so consistent throughout the years. For all that you've done for this channel in your giving, I want to say thank you and I appreciate you. And a special thank you as well to those who gave during the last live. Thank you to Olivia Johnson. Thank you so much. You have been so kind. Thank you for being so open-hearted and such an encouragement to my work here. God bless. Thank you as well to Bonnie, who goes by the handle B10Pow. Thank you for always going, as I said, above and beyond time and time again to show support towards me here on this channel. I love you and I say God bless you. Thank you. Thank you. And once again, thank you to all who give to this channel financially. Truly, it means so much. So now I appreciate you all for watching. Leave your comments on this below, as well as sharing your thoughts on what you'd like to see Harry and Meghan doing next. I would like to know your thoughts. And if you liked this one, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Click that subscribe button. It truly does help out the channel. And if you want to watch more about Prince Harry's latest update on how they will be having the Centabale Polo Cup in Singapore, click the link here and at the end screen, and I will check you out there. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Have a blessed one.